You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
You're mine for all my years, and we've always had choices. We have no choice whatsoever.
Carle Health is the primary health care resource for roughly 11,000 retired state workers. Roughly 700 of them from Champaign County alone showed up in the rain to share their fears that those doctors may soon no longer be covered under their state benefit plan. Good evening, I'm Jessica Coons. Our Target 3 team first revealed the state contracted with Aetna as the sole provider for health insurance for roughly 140,000 state retirees. Our investigative reporter Renee Cooper just came from that meeting. So Renee, what did you hear there?
Well, Jessica, the State Universities Annuitants Association, which is a nonprofit advocacy group for that group, they hosted the annual meeting, which was actually repurposed into airing health insurance concerns. Now, Carle Health leadership has made it clear they won't commit to treating retirees once they're moved onto the Aetna plan in January without a contract with Aetna for that plan. Now, retiree after retiree, most if not all former U of I employees shared the need for continued care under Carle, for cancer care, for surgeries, for services they've been told they can only get locally through Carle, or it's because after decades their doctors simply know them, know their treatments, and they don't want to change care as seniors when that care is especially critical. Now, the executive director of the Annuitants Association says it's up to Carle to come to an agreement with Aetna to keep these patients care that has been available on an out-of-network state plan until now. She walked through how to find other plan options if retirees wish to drop their state benefits.
The problem is at what cost? I went to work at the University of Illinois for much less money than private sector because I'm married to a farmer, and I was looking ahead at my retirement and having good health insurance.
Now, many of these retirees worked for the state long enough that they don't have to and don't expect to have to pay a dime for their health insurance premiums. They believe they should have options and that the state should provide more than one. As for where negotiations are at between Carle and Aetna, the two companies had different responses today. In the first interview Aetna's agreed to since I started covering this story in March, the senior VP of Group Retiree Solutions says he's, quote, encouraged that a deal will be reached by January 1st and that there is plenty of time between now and the end of open enrollment, that's on November 30th, to make that happen. Now, a Carle representative says they don't know if a contract will be agreed upon before open enrollment closes and that it depends on when Aetna is, quote, ready to enter into an equitable contract. Now, tomorrow I'll dive even deeper into state lawmaker response and the roles and remedies at play here. For now, live in the newsroom, Renee Cooper, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Certainly still a lot to unpack. All right, Renee, thank you. Well, doctors warn 3 viruses, COVID, influenza, and RSV, could spike this winter. All 3 have similar symptoms. Now, a U of I affiliated company has developed a PCR test kit that screens for all 3 at once. Shield T3's CEO says they're always working to expand their testing capabilities.
In terms of being able to offer tests to test for more respiratory conditions, more viral conditions as we move forward. And I think that testing will get better around variants as we go forward also.
Their new test kit is similar to the original saliva-based COVID PCR test, but it's not available everywhere yet. The company is currently only offering it to universities, K-12 schools, and private employers. Decatur police are investigating a shooting tonight. This happened just before 6 p.m. on Wellington Way between North Portage Place and North Woodford Street. Police say 1 person was hurt. They were taken to the hospital. No update on their condition. Some Rantoul families will need to look for a new after-school program. J.W. Ader Junior High officials posted to Facebook. They say the Don Moyer Boys and Girls Club program there is suspended because of a staffing shortage. We reached out to the club's executive director. He says they're sorting things out, but not sharing anything else at this time. New for you tonight, you'll soon start seeing more hydrogen fuel cell electric buses in Champaign-Urbana. That's thanks to nearly $4 million in federal money. WCIA 3's Marley Capper is with us. So Marley, where is all of that money coming from?
It's part of Senator Dick Durbin's initiative to improve electric bus infrastructure. The goal is to provide emission-free ways for people to commute. Of the $8 million he secured, Champaign-Urbana is getting $3.78 million of it. Now, MTD is hoping to buy 10 of these hydrogen buses to replace diesel ones. Every day, thousands of people need to get around Champaign-Urbana. And with the price of gas and cars going up, taking public transportation can be an affordable solution. And what better way to get around than a zero-emission bus? We have hydrogen tanks, and we produce the hydrogen on site here at our maintenance department using solar energy. And then that hydrogen in the fuel cell produces electricity, which that charges the batteries on the bus that runs the electric motors. Carle Health, CEO of Champaign-Urbana Mass Transit, is talking about how a 100% electric bus works. It's the wave of the future, but an expensive one. A fuel cell electric bus and a battery electric bus are about $1 million per bus. He says the price is worth the positive effects it can have on the planet. In the United States alone, federal officials say transportation represents 27% of total greenhouse gas emissions. Diesel buses are partially to blame. Gannett says through a mode shift, people in Champaign-Urbana can help reduce those emissions. That's people getting out of individual cars and riding collectively in a bus. Out of MTD's 118 bus fleet, only 2 are hydrogen fuel cell electric buses. But thanks to some federal funding, Gannett hopes to add 10 more. This will be the seed money for that. We have some additional federal funds through another source, primarily with our COVID recovery funds, that we can apply to a capital project. He says when the 10 new ones come in, they'll retire 10 diesel buses that have reached their shelf life. The hope is to slowly build out their fleet with more of the hydrogen buses. They still have electric buses, but those still need to be charged, not making them 100% emission-free. Jessica?
All right, Marley, thank you. Gannett says the bus costs $1 per ride, or you can get an annual pass with unlimited rides for $60. Planned Parenthood of Illinois says it's seeing a historic surge in out-of-state patients, and today they unveiled an expansion of their Champaign Health Center that'll help meet demand. The several million-dollar renovation includes a new floor of procedure rooms, an ultrasound room, a recovery room, and more. They say it doubled capacity for in-clinic abortion care in central Illinois. Back in June, the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, triggering abortion bans or restrictions in many states. The list includes neighboring Indiana, where Planned Parenthood says 11% of abortion patients in Champaign are from.
We see patients who must flee their own communities to access basic health care or are forced to carry a pregnancy against their will.
She says Planned Parenthood has been preparing since 2016 to expand several facilities, including the one in Champaign. From your local election headquarters, a sitting Illinois Supreme Court justice is in a heated race for re-election in the northern part of the state. Justice Michael Burke is running against appellate judge Mary O'Brien. The two were part of a candidate forum with the Appellate Lawyers Association today. When asked about their top priorities for the court if elected, the two candidates agreed.
The most pressing concern is the implementation of the no cash bail provisions, the bail provisions of the Safety Act.
The likelihood of having, this new Pretrial Fairness Act take place, that's going to be a tremendous responsibility for the court. Making sure that that is done correctly is certainly a priority.
The two Supreme Court races in Illinois have drawn a lot of statewide attention as Republicans see those seats as a way to hold power in Springfield. Democrats fear losing the seats could lead to major changes in Illinois law. One high school band won big in their division this weekend. What state recognition they're getting for the victory. Plus, it was a different kind of lesson for some high school students where they got to learn about being a lawmaker.